Yo, so my man Luke Cage broke the internet, at least Netflix. Let's get into it. You know, uh, I've been looking forward to this for a minute. Uh, Ever since Luke Cage got introduced in Jessica Jones, the rumblings was there about his show coming and whatnot, and I was looking forward to seeing what was up. I mean, you know, I was excited. Netflix does their stuff right. Like all their shows, damn near are legit. So when they do something, it's high production qualities in there. So I was looking forward to seeing what Luke Cage had to offer. I mean, I didn't expect it to break Netflix though. I mean, what was it, Sunday? The Sunday after it came out, that very first Sunday, I was there trying to marathon through it, and it was crazy. Like just for 2.5, damn near 3 hours, nothing, and I thought it was something wrong with my connection or whatever. Rebooted my computer a few times even and stuff like that. Deleted Chrome, re-downloaded Chrome. Yo, okay, see what's up with it and whatnot. But it turns out there was a problem with Netflix. Period. So Luke Cage leave it to the black man to go ahead and go, break down they shit. That's funny, man. That was funny. Black man in a hoodie can be a hero too. Luke Cage, man. I like. Let me just start from the beginning, from the top. Like when the show first started off, like episodes 1 and 2 were pretty slow. I kind of was feeling like, man, I'm not sure if this is what I want to be getting into. I was there because the Marvel universe and stuff like that and whatnot. And, just kind of okay. This is supposed to be good, so let me go through it. For a while, so that's why I was there at the beginning, and it was kind of slow, but it was still interesting enough, I guess, that I stuck around. And I was rewarded in the end, because by the time I got to episodes 4, 5, 6 and stuff like that, man, that's when it really picked up. Because to be honest, in the middle of the season is the best point of the season, because after and by the way, there are spoilers in this, so I'm talking about the show. I watched it. I hope you watched it by now. I don't know why you'd be here if you didn't watch it. But after they killed off Cottonmouth, it was a wrap. Mostly. Because Cottonmouth was a nice villain. Like he wasn't a typical villain, like he was a kid that was forced into this lifestyle, that had so many other talents and abilities, and could have went elsewhere, had he just made one small decision, differently. So that's why he was an interesting character. Even though I didn't find him too menacing as a villain, I thought he was really interesting as a character overall, especially in like the last 2 episodes of in which he's in it, which is like 5 and 6 or whatever. I thought that was really nice. But then they went ahead and killed him off, and even though it's not like the show tanked after they killed him, but after they killed him, you could see it start to taper off a little bit, and then they introduced this villain who's like the much feared Diamondback that we kept hearing about all the time, and when he finally shows up, he's just a punk ass villain who's mad at his brother. And I'm like, oh my god, can you not do that? Can you not give me a cliche storyline like brothers, half brothers, and you were the good one, you were the one that my daddy loves so much, and I'm just so mad at you for that, and you made me get a jail. I had to go to jail because I didn't have the last name, and my daddy didn't care about me enough. I'm like, really? Really? So many people gotta die? So much chaos? So much bullshit for a fucking daddy issue? Come on, man. Come on. That was just so disappointing. And he just wasn't menacing as a villain. Like, for someone who was supposedly built this huge empire because he was over Cottonmouth and all these other bosses and shit like that, for him to just be that whiny little wimp, it was like, oh god. But thankfully, it wasn't so insufferable that the rest of the show kind of just dipped in quality completely. But It was just really bad. It had a nice supporting cast, and even though the acting started out pretty weak, my dude Luke Cage, I don't know his real name, but he's not the particularly best actor. He's kind of stiff in a lot of instances, but it's serviceable. But I think some of the lines they had him do, I think you're like, okay, check this out. For instance, I think you're aware of the fact that Luke Cage and some of his lines are really freaking corny, because later on in the season you have my girl Rosario Dawson. Oh man, that's a crush right there. That's a every woman right there. But I love her, Rosario Dawson. But later on in the show, her character, when she's introduced, keeps telling Luke Cage, "You are so corny," and it's true, because some of the stuff he says is like really corny. Like, oh, check this out. I forgot which episode it was. Like, I don't know, maybe 5 or something, or like 4 or 5. When this is like after Pops had died and whatnot, got killed. Then next thing you know, the other dude, the chess player, the accountant, was asking him like, "What are you gonna do?" And as he's walking out the store, right? And he's like, "I'm gonna check these fools." And I'm just like, what the fuck? That's so garbage. That's trash, man. I'm gonna check these fools. It's like harkens back to like 70s blaxploitation films and shit like that, like the second coming of Shaft or some shit. It's just like, no, that's just awful. I can't believe y'all wrote that. I thought that I was gonna say something like, "I'm gonna go to work," or something just more normal. "I'm gonna check these fools." I was like, oh my god. So they had plenty of instances like that, but in the end, it was overall good enough to keep me, coming back, man. Like, and I'm telling you, in the middle of the season, like 4, 5, and 6, I'm not remember, sure if those are the exact numbers, but oh man, somewhere in there is just so good. Well, I was just feeling like, man, this show is top notch, In the end, it falls somewhere in the upper echelon of Netflix shows, but it's still not on the level of it's not on the level of Stranger Things, which I'm an 80s baby, so I love a lot of stuff that harkens back to that time. It's not on Stranger Things' level. I don't think it's up there with Daredevil quite yet. It's up there. It definitely kicks Jessica Jones' ass. Oh, Jessica Jones sucks so hard. Like, talk about a waste of time. Anyway, whatever. Hopefully they can improve season 2. Although her interactions with Luke Cage in her show were some of the best on the show. So I did appreciate that. But it's up there. It's up there. You know what I mean? But I need to see a wider variety of Netflix things. One thing I do know though is that they got me feeling like, yo, I hope that Nintendo Zelda rumor, Nintendo and Netflix rumor for Zelda is on point, and it's something that'll happen in the future, because holy shit, if they give us that level of quality production, like, the Zelda show will be off the chain. Like, Give me that level, like I said, Luke Cage is up there, I mean, it's definitely not the worst. But I mean, to get back on track, I hated that, brother story with daddy issues and stuff. I hated that development. It sucked. It really did, and this guy just never seemed like, oh, you're bad enough as a villain. You never sympathized with him. You never felt for his plight. You never felt like, oh man, that sucks for him. That bad, unfortunate thing happened for him because of what his dad did or anything like. You never felt any of these things for this character. So it was just like a crazy man trying to say sucker a lot. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Get going. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what. I was very, very, very happy to see Shades and Mariah get away. I was so happy with that because it made sense within the context of the world. It really, really did. I would have hated, because my dude who plays Shades, he took a major L on Sons of Anarchy. So I was like, yo, you're not gonna take that L again, right? So when they had him duffled off in the elevator, I'm like, yo, this whack ass little henchman is gonna get you. Well, he pulled it off. Even him, like, he wasn't menacing at all. There were no real menacing villains in this show, man. And it's like, maybe that was the whole point. Maybe that's what they were trying to go for. But none of them felt menacing. And the only one that you could really kind of relate to, they killed off midway through the season, because that was Cornell. And it's like, after he died, like, there was nothing left. You know what I mean? Mariah was like, okay, well, Mariah's a fucking dirty politician. Ooh, fucking whoop-de-doo. That's news to us, right? I mean, look at nowadays. Point out one clean politician. I mean, maybe Bernie Sanders? You know what I mean? Which brings me into my next point, that it's such a well-timed show because it touches on social issues that we have currently going on. You know what I mean? Where it gives us a black man in a hoodie. That's a hero. You know what I mean? Like, right now in American society, black men are stigmatized in such a horrendously awful way. You know what I mean? We're looked at and feared and hated. That's not to say it's happening everywhere with everyone, because I have many different people that I interact with of many different races and genders and stuff like that, and I don't face that from within that group of people. But in general, that is what's happening across the country. So to have this show touch on some of those things and be so pertinent within the context of our everyday society right now it was a beautiful thing. And that's why in the end I really like this show, even though that finale was just like, oh, look at the two titans fighting. It's like, come on, man, come on. Like, so, you know, I can't hate on the show at all. Like, I love it. I loved it. It kept me up late at night binge watching. So I can't be mad at that, but it just had some issues with it. But I love that that's the show that freaking broke Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. Like, you know, it was great, man. It was great. I really enjoyed what it had to offer. Some of the overarching tones, the macro tones and themes in there. I really love that. So it was just all around enjoyable. There was some, like I said, you know, some instances where the show quality was just, the acting was just kind of cringeworthy. But overall, I like where it ended up. I like how, like I said, Shades and Mariah got away and they the new fucking king and queen of Harlem, so to speak. Luke Cage is going, you know, on his way back to Atlanta which, by the way, can we cut the fucking bullshit, please? Did you see how quick Luke Cage went to Atlanta and back to New York like it was nothing? Like they did an overnight trip? Like, man, listen, I ain't never drove from New York to Atlanta, but I'm sure that shit takes some time. I could Google it right now if I wanted to. I just don't want to. But, like, come on, man. They did that with, like Atlanta is like two counties over. That's how they did it. Like, okay, we gonna head over there. It's gonna be an hour and a half drive, and we'll be right back. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, I had to go to Savannah. I wasn't even in the state that time. There was just like some real corny instances in this show, but overall, it was good enough to bear with the cornball stuff. But like I was saying, you know, Luke Cage is on his way back to prison now because identity revealed. But fortunately for him, my dude, the accountant, I still don't know his name up to now. He but he found the jacket with all the information for Luke Cage's innocence and stuff like that. So within the next first episode or two of next season, Luke Cage is gonna be free to go. So, you know, it's on. Then the crazy ass doctor is there to experiment on Luke Cage's brother now. So that awful character is coming back again. What else happened at the end? Like I said, Shades of Mariah on top, Luke back to prison. Oh, my girl Rosario Dawson is finally gonna, you know, bed down with a hero and stay there, it seems. So we can expect more of her in next season. But which, by the way, she's going to look up a good attorney for Luke Cage. So does that mean Daredevil Luke Cage crossover? Yeah, buddy. That's gonna be awesome too. I'm still waiting on the damn Punisher series. I don't know. Somebody had told me one time it was out, but then I checked and it wasn't out, so I don't know. But we'll see. But Luke Cage Daredevil crossover will be dope. What else is happening at the end? My girl, the detective, I don't know she's kind of up in the air where she's not really satisfied with the scope of the law, but who knows? You know, she might stick with the Shield because she gets to avenge her CI, which we knew that was gonna happen. You know, that was the only way for Mariah to get off. I think that's all the main characters and kind of where they're at the end of the season. Man, I just wanted to get on here and give a quick overview and just kind of talk about it because I just feel like it was such a well-timed show, and that even in all its flaws, that makes it so brilliant in the end. Like, you may watch Luke Cage 5 years from now and maybe it won't be as pertinent then, and maybe things will be better in our society, and you may never even realize the socio-political impact of this show, you know, and maybe many people who watched it didn't even notice it, but this thing is really relevant right now because we are being stereotyped at an aggressive rate where, I'll just use this for instance, like people talked about it. I saw this on Twitter one time where they said, oh, Ryan Lochte went over in Brazil and behaved like an asshole and whatnot and did all this stuff, right? American society, not American people, but many in society said, oh, those are just boys having fun. Kid is in the park playing with a little toy gun. He's a dangerous adult. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not really, it's not one-to-one, and it's unfair, and they can't see it. You know, many of them cannot see it, and that's so unfortunate, so sad, because many people out there are thinking from their own perspective, their point of view. This is what they grew up with, and I'm not saying that a lot of people are innately racist or innately bigoted, but they're taught to think a certain way, and by not being able to ever step outside that mold of thinking, you have limited the scope of your own understanding. So when you think, oh well, my way is so correct and yada yada yada, it's like, no, it's really not. You're just small-minded. And that's the problem a lot of people are facing today, and it's really sad because we're supposed to be such a great country, a country about freedom and openness and acceptance, and it's just not really happening, you know. And as a black man, like, and I'm not even like one of the darkest shades of black, but I'm black nonetheless. So as I walk in the street, like, I have a hoodie, an Overwatch hoodie that I love. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I have an Overwatch hoodie. I have an Overwatch hoodie because I tweeted about it, and I love that hoodie. Like, absolutely love it. It's my favorite piece of clothing. But I refuse to ever put up the hood. Like, it could be pouring rain outside, and I'm not gonna have an umbrella because I don't believe a man by himself walking should have an umbrella. Like, it's just against all guy code, guy rules, whatever you want to call it. If you're by yourself and you're a man, you don't wear an umbrella. You don't carry an umbrella, even if you're gay. I don't care. It's not acceptable. Now, if you're with your lady, you carry an umbrella and you hold it over yourself and your lady and whatnot. But you don't walk with an umbrella by yourself. Now, let me not go off on a rant about that. But what I'm saying is, so it could be pouring rain. My hoodie is on I'm wearing my jacket. I refuse to ever put that hoodie over my head. I'll take getting wet. I'll take being sick for the next week or whatever if it happens that way. I'll take that versus put a hoodie over my head. Are you kidding me? At this time in our economy, I'll put a hoodie on my head. Never that, man. Never that. I don't need that. Like, the other night I was walking home from work, and I don't live too far from work, you know, and I got followed by a cop, man. It's like, you know, it never bothers me. I'm not doing anything wrong, so I like, on a micro scale, it doesn't affect me. I don't care. You can follow me if you want. You can stalk me, pretty much is what they're doing, you know, but it doesn't bother me. I'm not doing shit. You're wasting your time. So if you want to waste your time looking at me, fine, look. I mean, that should look good, right? I mean, I keep it nice for them. I keep it nice, you know, but you know, on a macro level, it's trash, man. It's bullshit, you know. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We can't rage, we can't riot, we can't get mad because number one, that's stupid, and we only hurting ourselves the majority of the times by doing that. So that's out of the question. And we can't do shit peacefully either, because then there's death threats being lauded and shit like that, and it's like, you know, and then it's like, now y'all got me going off on this wild tangent about what's going on in our country, but you got Colin Kaepernick, you know, who started this little movement, this peaceful protest of the anthem, you know what I mean? And that's like, yo, that's what this country is built on. First Amendment rights, the ability to protest and stuff like that. That's what we are all about. That's what we stand for. But yet, we get so much hate for it. And then as other people are joining in, they get so much hate for it. And then come to find out, like, the anthem was a racist song. Or is a racist song. They just hide the last verse. They hid the last verse that was overtly racist. But yet now, they looking, booing, hating, sending death threats to these people that are peacefully protesting, that have a right to do that. And why? Why? Because you don't understand their perspective. You're so caught up in your me. And you're not thinking about others. Hey, no one wants to take anything from you. You're entitled to have your own. I have mine. What little I have and I love. I love having it. I don't want to be in a communist society. I don't want to be anywhere else but America. I love it. Don't even ask me if I want to travel overseas for vacation. I don't want to go nowhere. I love my country. This is my home. This was born. I love it. But loving ownership of stuff doesn't mean you can't think about somebody else. Think about their plight. Think about, man, how can I help somebody today? Because, hey, listen, helping other people actually feels kind of nice. It really does. Like, I won't even lie to you. Try it sometime. Think outside the box, man. Think about other people. Think about how you can help someone, you know, come up from their struggle. Or just ease their burden for that day. Is that really such a problem? Why can't we love each other? Why can't we all be family? Why? Why does it have to be, oh, you white, or you black, or you Hispanic, or you Muslim, or you this, or you that? Why? That's sad, man. Just care about people. We're all humans. I tell you, if there's an alien invasion, we're fucking screwed. Because there's no unity in this humanity. There's none. It's too segmented. Don't want the aliens to come. But that's a whole nother tangent. And when I talk about my, you know, the apocalypse that we most likely to survive, I might do that coming up because Walking Dead coming back on. So I don't want to get too much on the political side and stuff like that, but Walking Dead is coming back, people. And I watched Fear the Walking Dead, and I might talk about that because that season end up was some bug. But Walking Dead, man. Walking Dead is back. So like I said, to wrap up, Luke Cage was a damn good show. I'm glad it broke Netflix. I hope it did gangbusters numbers. Like I'm talking, like I hope it did Orange is the New Black season 4 numbers. That's what I'm talking about. I loved it. I had a great time. It was some corny stuff in there, very corny stuff in there. Pretty crappy villains. None of them felt really menacing or intimidating. So you know, it was just a good show to watch. I really enjoyed it. The middle of the season was the best of it, and I look forward to more Luke Cage in the future. You know. And that's it for this video, man. That's the wrap up of what Luke Cage's first season was all about on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, you shouldn't be here right now. And if you still are here, even though you haven't seen it, go watch it, man. There's nothing wrong with watching it. And if you have seen it already, go watch it again, because there's nothing wrong with watching it again. I'm out of here. Y'all still here? Get out of here.